Boys, welcome. So today's lesson is going to be on TikTok, probably one of my favourite things in the whole world. Literally, I can't get enough of it. You guys likely all found us on TikTok. Most of you. So kind of no better lesson really to go through, and it is going to be one of the best ways and one of the best avenues to actually market your models with as everyone knows, TikTok, attractive girls. It just goes hand in hand really. So this is going to give you all the information you need in terms of both the practical setup side of things, but then at the same time, also kind of the more like the theoretical side of things in terms of how to actually get really good growth. But first things first, I'm going to go over with you guys is the practical setup. And I say rules because essentially it is rules. If you follow what I put here, you won't have any issues. Obviously, everyone knows with it being an OnlyFans industry, that side of things, TikTok. It doesn't exactly go hand in hand. It does in terms of growth. It doesn't exactly go hand in hand in terms of actually being allowed to do it, even though everyone does. So you need to essentially follow these kind of practical rules to, maximise the likelihood that this will be successful. That makes sense for everyone?
Yes.
Good stuff. So first things first, and I put it in capital letters to, kind of emphasise it even more. You cannot say the word OnlyFans on TikTok, just to start there. Please do not do that. You will get banned within, I'd say, probably it'll take 5 minutes. So alternatives you're going to use, only friends or OF. Those are the two that I'd go with. It's instantly recognisable to everyone what you're trying to get at. Everyone knows that that's what you're saying. You don't have to say OnlyFans, because if you do, it's not going to end well. That's an absolute key. That's the number one. And obviously, we're teaching this to you guys, and you guys are going to be teaching this to your model. So in reality, this is something that you need to kind of consider. Obviously, to be fair, what I'd say is after this lesson that we'll get onto later on, maybe take this lesson and even run through this Google Doc with your model. I think Marcus will agree that that's a really, really good method to go down in terms of obviously giving them this information. So don't say the word OnlyFans, right? Number two, explicitity level. Please be aware of the level of explicit you can go to. Bikini, okay. Anything further, no. Because, once again, you'll get banned. And the thing with TikTok as well is, sometimes you don't even know you've been banned. If you, say you have a video that gets like a guideline strike, they'll likely won't delete your account or anything. They'll just shadow ban you. And shadow ban means you'll get like 10 views per video. No one wants that. That's not why you guys are doing this. So, explicitity level, please keep it, as clean as you possibly can. Obviously, there's a whole load of eventualities you can go down with that, be it costumes. We're actually going to get into a few bits later on in terms of kind of the practical side of things. But that is something which is so key. All right? Cool. So, the whole caption side of things, right? So, with regards to captions, when you're advertising a TikTok model, you need to be aware that you can't openly advertise it. You cannot put in your bio, subscribe to me, whatever. You can't do that, all right? It's a big no-no. You need to be really, really subtle about it, but subtle in a way that people will understand, all right? So, be it message me on Instagram with like a wink emoji, something like that. It needs to be enticing, but at the same time, it cannot be openly advertising it, because once again, you will get banned. So a way that I like to do this is in terms of the bio. What I tend to put in, obviously, we always talk about when it comes to social media, kind of how to set the account up. So you're going to have like age, location, like a little emoji, and then second line you want to have like link you're looking for is in my Instagram bio. Okay. Keep it nice and vague. Just do not mention only friends, don't mention only fans in your bio, just put link is in bio. Look, if people are there, they know what this is about, all right? They're not stupid. They're going to go and subscribe to it. Make sense? Cool. So in terms of the account name, now this is just like a little, every week we have these little sneaky tips which have worked really well for us in the past. So a big one for me is literally, so with quite a few of our models, if you put secret at the start of their TikTok name and then their name, it really, really does well. And I'm going to show you an account that literally kind of over the past couple of weeks has absolutely taken off with one of our girls. If you add secret to the start of their name, so be it, you're going to see an account of a girl that we might call Secret Angel Francesca. So by adding that secret, it just, what you guys have kind of got to understand is the first 3 seconds of a TikTok video are the most important, right? And if they're looking at the word secret, they're enticed, they don't know what it's about, they're going to click on the account, they're going to watch it. So that's just a really, really subtle little thing. You don't have to do that, but we've seen that work very effectively. Maybe we've just got lucky. I don't think we have, because if something works on TikTok, it works for a reason. It's a whole algorithm. So if you put secret at the start of their names, if they've got a fresh TikTok account, it looks really good. Okay. So once again, we're going to go into kind of the whole profile picture, actually account setup side of things. So profile picture, not explicit, and I've put that in capital letters again because it can't be. All right. just like we mentioned prior, bikini level, anything more than that, no. Okay? So profile picture needs to be attractive, it needs to be enticing, maybe have a little bit of spiciness to it, something like that, but nothing too much. Don't go too overboard with it because you'll get banned. Okay? Enticing, make sure it's a really good looking picture, high quality, all that side of things, but whatever you do, just nothing explicit. That's what I'm going to really try and drill in. So in terms of captions, all right? Now, captions that we see working really well, come chat to me, check out my Instagram, initiate that conversation. It's what we went into in the previous lesson in terms of you are wanting to set up your account in a way that it maximizes the initial engagement because that's where the money's going to come in from, that's where the conversion is going to happen. So if you're asking something like, come chat with me or, follow my Instagram, whatever, you're pushing the engagement, all right? But you're not doing it blatantly. You're not saying subscribe to my OnlyFans, all right? You can't be doing that. So be subtle about it, but just spark the conversation. It's what we need to keep kind of drilling into ourselves. Instant gratification that we've spoken about countless times as well. In terms of the instant gratification side of things, they're thinking to themselves, oh, okay, I can get a reply and a message straight away. They're open saying, come chat to me, and they do it. Make sense? Cool.
I know, by the way, guys, we're going to show you like real life examples of all of this in just a second. We just want to run through it first for you guys, just so you guys are kind of getting it right on why certain things are a certain way.
Sure. So in terms of time of the day, and we're going to get into kind of expectations momentarily, but in terms of time of the day, it's got to be 2 to 3 times a day, these TikToks. The way that the TikTok algorithm works is your account will warm up slowly over time. You're not going to probably go viral in your first 3 videos, but you may go viral in your 10th, all right? So they need to be evenly spaced out. You need to obviously inform your models of this. So what time frame wise, it works quite well. 10 a.m., 6 p.m. and 1 a.m. I'd say always try and post your better ones 1 a.m. It's just the time when obviously these kind of videos really take off. That is something that's quite key, and we'll talk about expectations momentarily. But another little tip, which is a huge thing that pretty much no one on TikTok even realizes. So if you go into if you tell the girl how to do this, they'll understand what you mean. So when you go into actually posting the TikTok, click settings. Please make sure that allow HD posting box is ticked, right? This is huge, okay? Not many people know about kind of how to use this if you're not familiar with TikTok. Basically, TikTok by default doesn't post your videos in high def. It obviously cuts them down so it's easier to post out. So obviously, if you're on Wi-Fi, make sure you click allow HD posting. It may take around 10 to 20 seconds more, but your videos will literally come out 4K. If you film it on 4K on your phone, it will come out 4K, which obviously it makes a huge difference, all right? Because you can tell, you probably scan through TikTok, you can see videos that are crap quality, you can see videos that are great quality. That's literally the only difference, all right? And obviously, if you guys need any help on where to find this button, I can just show you guys, just bang me a message on Discord. Cool. So next section is setting expectations, right? So first step when it comes to TikTok, you have to set clear expectations about the level of content you're going to be needing from the model. All right, obviously you're coaching them on how to do this on TikTok. You're going to kind of keep them motivated. You can't make the TikToks for them. Best will in the world. You're not a girl. You can't be there doing all your selfies. It doesn't work. They're going to create the TikToks, but you are going to teach them how to do it, and you're going to keep them accountable, okay? So in terms of expectations, you need a minimum of around 2 to 3 TikToks per day, ideally 3. If it's 2, the odd day is not the end of the world, but you can't let it dip below that, all right? You need to keep this consistent. It's really, really key, this, because this is what's going to create the brand. This is something we've talked about many times, the brand behind your model. This is what's going to do it. A big TikTok following is a big yes, all right? So if this content is of high quality, they will grow consistently. If it's not of high quality, they won't. That's literally what it comes down to. I can't put it in any more simple terms. We're going to get onto some really great examples shortly. But, one of the most successful methods that we've kind of come up with in terms of ensuring this level of growth and this level of consistency is maintained is, potentially tell your model to, let's say on a Sunday, create a week's worth of TikTok, put 28 TikTok videos into your drafts and you've got 2 weeks worth of content, right? That's something that has worked really well with us. Just tell them what's expected. If they need to create this amount of TikToks, they're going to do it, all right? You've told them in your initial call, you're going to maximize the amount of money they make. This is one of the things they have to do, okay? Cool. So in terms of kind of keeping on top of this yourself, what I find really useful, obviously we have a lot of virtual assistants and stuff that do this for us, but initially when I was doing it just on my own, is set a notification on your phone just 3 times a day. It'll say like TikTok 1, TikTok 2, TikTok 3. Just bang your model a message. Have you posted your TikTok? Usually, maybe they haven't, maybe they forgot. It'll take them a week or 2 to get into the swing of things. Once they're into the swing of things and they're treating it like a little job, it'll do it automatically, all right? So initially, set that notif on your phone and have that, kind of have that there as a have that there as a kind of place where you're going to be able to speak to them and make sure that they're keeping consistent with it. All right. So just what I'd say as well, little side point here, just be reasonably firm with this. Obviously, we've talked about how to actually approach models from like a personality side of things, but be firm. All right. If they're serious about wanting to make the money, you guys are serious about wanting to make the money. Just be firm. Say, you need to post this TikTok now. If they make excuses and stuff like, look, have a word with them. All right. Obviously, be polite, be respectful, all that kind of thing. But you need to be reasonably firm in terms of making sure it gets done. All right. Is that cool, everyone?
So just to add on top, I know I'm literally saying exactly what Harry said, but I just want to emphasize it even more. Like, this is it. Like, this is it, whether the girl is going to make a lot of money or not. I don't mean just TikTok specifically. I mean just content, right? Because think about it. That's the only thing we need from the model, right? So that will come down to two things. Number one, expectations, right? Which is, like I said, exactly what Harry's talking about. But, like exactly what Harry said, like genuinely make them understand that these are the expectations. All we need is 2 to 3 TikToks per day, right? And we'll test it as well. Like, so you guys know this as well. I'm sure you've heard kind of like, if you, let's just say all of you guys are aiming for 10K a month, like revenue. If that's your goal and that's your target and that's what your aim is, you're probably going to make around 6K. But if your aim and your target is 20,000, you're probably going to make around 16 because you're aiming for higher. So we have tested as well. What if we set the aim at 5 TikToks per day, and then maybe they're going to do 3-4 a day? To be honest, it's a bit too much. So just say 3 minimum per day, or 2 minimum per day, but 3 ideally. And again, like I said just a second ago, it all comes down to expectations. The same as with all of us guys, right? So all of you guys signed up to this coaching and consulting. If we set the expectation that we would reply to you guys within 3 days or 4 days, if me and Harry didn't reply to you for 2-3 days, you wouldn't be upset because we told you from the beginning we'd get back to you in 4 days at least, right? Obviously, we don't do that, but that's the expectation setting. Whereas if we never said that, and then we have replied after the 4th day, you guys would be like, oh, fuck these guys, it's taking too long to reply, etc. So it all comes down to expectations from the get-go, from the beginning. So expectations, and then number 2, what Harry, again, also mentioned, is just keeping on top of it. So the same as, like, imagine if you guys had a physical office in real life, and you had a new staff member that you just hired in real life sitting at her desk, right? You wouldn't just not talk to her. That would be pretty weird, right? If anything, a new staff member, you'd want to talk to her every single day. Make sure she's okay, make sure she's happy, make sure she's actually onboarded to your business properly, she feels safe, etc. So especially for the first month, you're going to want to have as much communication with the model as possible. Every day, just to check in. Hey, how's everything going? Do you have any questions? Anything I can help you? Hey, by the way, did you get a chance to record the video? Do you have any questions about the video? Hey, by the way, still haven't received the video from earlier. Can you make it? Hey, what's up? Da-da-da. Just check in with them every single day, guys. And I mean every single day. Eventually, guys, after 3 months, sometimes 2 months, the model will kind of understand the gist of it and then kind of get into a routine. So you won't have to have as much communication. But from the get-go, set expectations and check in with them daily.
Yeah, just echoing what I've said there completely, to be fair. You view these models like business partners. This is the only business where, if you're 50-50 to someone, the work you do and the work they do, it's mutually beneficial. You both need to be contributing and both need to be really working towards that. So by having expectations, never feel like you're, bugging them or anything like that, because that's not the case. They're going to appreciate you reaching out to them. At the end of the day, you've reached out to them from a perspective where you're the expert, you're going to help them make money. If they don't receive communication from you every day, they're going to be a little bit probably concerned. You want to be having a really great relationship with them. So, you want to be speaking to them every day. That to them is, to you guys, you may feel like you're bugging them, whatever. You're not. To them, that's great customer service. When you send me a message and I reply within 5 minutes, like I usually do, that's great customer service. That's not. No one's bugging anyone. It's just how to have essentially the best process. Does that make sense? So really make sure that you take that approach and you're not afraid to speak to them kind of consistently.
I'll just add one more thing, by the way. I'm going to probably make an entire lesson about mindset and how I want you guys to look at this, but this is more about mindset-wise. I just want you guys to understand the kind of the business partnership here. Like Harry said, it's 50-50. So yes, it's 50-50, but in the grand scheme of things, the models actually need you more than the other way around. Because think about it, guys. You can always find more models. Whereas for them, are they going to find another agency that will actually work as hard as you will? Probably not. So, right? So if a model is underperforming and the communication's not there, if she's not making the content for you, don't be afraid to just let them go, right? This is kind of like worst case scenario. And so I just want you to guys like understand from a mindset point of view, don't be afraid to be like, oh my God, I don't want to message her too much, or I don't want to ask her for too many things. Like, no, it's a 50-50. She has to pull her weight as well. But anyway, I'll let you carry on.
Yeah, no, for sure. So the next bit is obviously going to be the actual kind of practical side of the content. So look, I've told you about the setup. Make sure you follow what I've put there, especially the stuff in capital letters. That is, your absolute bread and butter. Now, for this, I'm going to show you essentially, we like every week, we like to have like a lovely little shortcut that we take, or like a cheeky little bit of advice. So this is going to be a huge one, right? So look, at this point, you're probably wondering to yourself, what kind of content do I get these girls to post? How do I teach them? Am I going to have to look at different sounds every day, etc., etc.? No, none of that. Now, you guys, you don't have time to be searching around for trending sounds, going viral, whatever. I've got a solution for this, and it's the solution that we currently use, right? Copy exactly what other OnlyFans stars do. The exact same sounds, get them to bookmark the sounds from their videos, the same actions, the same vibe, do exactly what they do, and they will go viral, right? Now, in terms of, I'm going to show you this exactly with a couple of girls we work with, for one, and then a couple of girls that I'm actually just good personal friends with that we don't manage, but I just know them through the industry, which we're going to get onto in a second. Now, by them copying what other stars are doing, so what these girls here I'm going to show you that are doing really, really well on OnlyFans, by them copying them on TikTok, in terms of how the algorithm works, the audience is going to be the same. They're going to get that same level of coverage, maybe not initially, but as soon as they're doing similar things, the videos are going to feed through. If one of those posters posts a video which is trending, your model's going to be trending, and it's going to be the same audience, which is people that buy OnlyFans that are seeing these videos, because the audience that are watching these sounds and how TikTok targets it is going to be people that will subscribe to your girls' OnlyFans. All right. So that's a massive kind of cheat in terms of how to do it. Get them to go through each of these girls' previous week's TikToks and make the exact same thing. So they're still within a week of trending sounds. And I can guarantee you, and I will show you it in how it's worked out right here. I can guarantee you that if they follow this and you keep on top of them, they will have videos that go viral. I'll show you right now. Okay, so here's a list here, which is obviously kind of content to take that inspiration from and essentially copy. Let me show you just how well that's worked.
You guys have ever heard like the saying, you don't have to reinvent the wheel? You don't have to. You can literally just see what's really working and get your models to replicate that.
Sure. So this is just a little example. Now, I was just helping Angel because she's a personal friend of mine. But in terms of the kind of stuff that we want to be posting, it's all here. Now, I've just mentioned to you there about how quickly you can go viral, right? Second video in, okay? Look at the engagement, boys. 40.5k, all right? A few more videos, doing good numbers, 4k, 5k, using the same sounds that all these other girls are using. I've told her to do the exact same thing you're going to tell your models to do. Okay, we're on here. 274,000 views.
He said, hey, stop, bro. You serious with blow? I said no.
Okay.
Can you just pause that there in terms of the text on the screen? I just want to point out.
He said, hey.
So you see how we mentioned earlier about the word that you can't use, which is obviously OnlyFans. There are certain other things such as like sex, fuck, etc. So as you can see, for example, right here, instead of actually putting SEX, a lot of girls put SEGGS, which obviously when you read it out loud, it still sounds like sex. So just remember, and then you can also use numbers as well. So as you can see, the second from the end word inside of number one. So yeah, just be careful with the actual words that you use as well in the video. That's really important.
Cool. So, and then look, in terms of kind of the engagement we mentioned there, like look at these comments. Like comment there, they've got 320 likes, 19,000 likes. That's huge. That's bigger than, because it's this industry, because obviously being lads on TikTok, they want to look at content like this. This is why you get such great engagement on TikTok. That's why it's such a useful tool. If it was me and Marcus posting stuff like this, we probably wouldn't get the same kind of engagement. Do you know what I mean? So that is something to bear in mind. These are very appealing videos to watch. So like, look at all the comments here, loads of likes, tons of engagement, and obviously I showed you guys the just kind of briefly her actual OnlyFans account last week. You saw the spike. That's when this video was posted. This is the genius part of TikTok, and the best bit, it's not costing you a penny to do this. All free, boys. All absolutely free. We in terms of kind of some other ones as well. Hopefully you're getting a bit of a vibe for the kind of sounds and stuff. Look, all right, one she posted recently, 76.3k for free. Well, in what other industry can you get 75,000 potential customers to look at a video completely free of charge? And obviously from there, every single thing we mentioned earlier has been applied on this account. This account's literally been about for a couple of weeks. Age, location, link is on my Insta. Obviously the Insta's connected, you can see that on mobile. Does that, I've kind of shown you guys exactly what is expected, exactly what the vibe is. If you had your model now come on board, she's never used TikTok before. If you sent her this account and said, copy every single one of these videos on this account, word for word, and action for action and sound for sound, they will go viral. They will get a video that does over 100K. I can guarantee you.
Simple.
It's literally that easy, all right? It's the brilliant part about this. Obviously, essentially how obviously I've mentioned there, this is exactly what I told her to do. I told her to base her account off this account, which is a girl I know person who's absolutely clear on OnlyFans. She does incredible numbers. Some of you guys may have seen it before. I told her to base her content off this girl, and she's done that. She's used the same sound, she's done the same actions, and she's, in some cases, getting more views. All right, this is the brilliant part about this. So let's say that you now have your model. She's ready to do TikTok. You kind of talked her through this lesson, as it were. Okay, we hop back on here. If you send her these 5 accounts to copy, and she does it, and she regularly copies the accounts, copies the sound, does the actions, etc., she'll have our videos and your OnlyFans will grow exponentially. All right?
Guys, what kind of questions do you guys have? You must have at least 1 or 2 questions, guys. We've gone over quite a lot so far. So any questions about the setup, the content, the copy, when to post it, where to post it, who's posting it? Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, for the caption. What about putting a link tree?
Sure. On the actual TikTok, you mean, in the bio?
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, so you can't really do that. You definitely can't do that. Please don't do that because you'll get banned. Funnily enough, guy I know on TikTok called Ginty recently did that, and he blocks it straight away. You're not really allowed to do that. The best way of doing it is literally have the Instagram account with all my links in connected to the TikTok. Then it's literally just one click to get to it. Because if you have all my links in, TikTok obviously knows what links you use. All my links, one is massive alarm bell straight away because you can have all. It's not allowed. Secondly, as well, if it sees you've got OnlyFans on there, it'll just ban you straight away. You can't really do that. So literally, just have an Instagram account and put just as words in your bio, link an Instagram bio, and I'll click into Instagram. The link's there. Done. Because obviously it's much more free on Instagram, all right? That's a huge one. A really, really great question. There, you can't have all my links in your TikTok bio. Okay. Any other questions of that nature in terms of kind of setting up anything like that? I think we have the.
Actually. Yeah. I was going to ask, so let's just say people are, commenting, ¿cómo se dice? Like DMing through TikTok.
Yeah.
Do we set up, okay, yeah, just come over to Instagram or something like that?
Great question. I'm so glad you asked that. I'm really, really glad. So this is across the board, something I've actually not kind of breached with you guys yet, because it's kind of something a little bit late down the line. No replies on anything. No DM replies. No TikTok message replies, no Snapchat replies, no nothing, all right? The reason that we say this is because, if you've got a guy that's DMing you on Instagram and you reply, suddenly he knows that to speak to you, he doesn't have to pay anything. He's still going to get a response from you, right? You want it to be that, this model is dead to the world in terms of, no one can message us, you can't speak to anyone outside of OnlyFans because it's going to push people onto it. If I'm a guy that really, really fancies this girl, wants to speak to her, whatever, I DM her on Instagram and she actually responds to me saying, oh, hey, subscribe to my OnlyFans, whatever, I'm not going to subscribe because I know that I've got her there. She actually can communicate with me via DMs, nothing, no responses, no message responses, no DM responses, no nothing like that. The only real exception with that is potentially TikTok comments. Someone's asking, how do I speak to you, link in by whatever. But nothing, no DM responses, no TikTok responses, no nothing. Right? That I cannot drill that into you guys. Nothing. It's so tempting. I know it's so tempting because I've been there myself initially when I was doing it. You see loads of DM requests in. Maybe a few of them are subscribed to OnlyFans, but you want to get more of them. It's so tempting to hop on that Instagram account and just try and convert them. Come subscribe. Don't do it. Long term, it's not sustainable. If they have a video blow up to 200K and they've got 50 message requests, it's not sustainable to go through. Two, as soon as you reply in the DM, the relationship's ruined. You got to think power balance, guys. You have to push them to purchase in the OnlyFans. Power balance wise, if you reply on DM, they've now got the power. All right, you need to just not do that. All right, I cannot drill that into. I know it sounds strange. In what world do you not want to speak to potential customers and try and convert them? It sounds mind blowing, and it was mind blowing to me initially. Please take my advice. Don't reply to anything. It's so tempting. Don't do it. All right. Great question, Amelia. That's actually something I was meaning to go into. So yeah, you've absolutely smashed it there, mate.
Thanks, man.
No replies, no nothing. Radio silence aside from OnlyFans. Okay, trust me, it works. Okay, now just a few other varying examples. Obviously, link back to Bella account. The kind of you guys are getting a feel for the kind of content. Obviously, literally all this stuff. Did you know 7 minutes of kind of riding is equivalent to, you get the gist, right? Get them to copy this, all right? Every single thing she does, get them to do it across these 5 accounts. You will go viral. Okay, cool. Lovely stuff. Now, last but not least, and this is kind of something we've broached a little bit already. Now, you need to make sure that your funnel is effective as possible, right? So, in terms of your funnel, when you think funnel, what you need to think of is, it's just like e-commerce, if any of you have had some experience with that, is to reduce the amount of clicks needed to make that successful subscription, okay? So, to have an effective funnel, obviously have your Instagram account linked, which we mentioned a moment ago. Have the Instagram account linked to the TikTok account, okay? In your TikTok bio, you have link on Insta, so instantly, you've got the top of the funnel, someone's reading your bio, you've got the next stage of the funnel, someone's going to be clicking your Instagram. As soon as they click your Instagram, on the Instagram bio, have an all my links, click all my links, click your OnlyFans, okay? Done. Another really, really useful little trick here. Now, if you're captioning your TikTok something, maybe something pretty generic, whatever, you can actually, a really, really good method if you're getting a lot of engagement, and obviously something you'll notice that myself and obviously Marcus' TikTok do as well, is as soon as you post a TikTok, put a comment onto the TikTok and pin it, right? So the comment might be pinned as link in bio, or the comment might be pinned as come chat to me on Instagram. Pin it there. So if they click into the comments, that's the first thing they see. It's you having more engagement with them. All right, it's just a little extra kind of element to this. So all you guys need to be thinking is see video, see bio, click Instagram, click OnlyFans. All right, that's the funnel you guys need to create. No overcomplication. No having multiple accounts. None of that. Simple as that. All right. You want someone to view the TikTok, think, wow, I'm attracted to her. I'd like to speak to her on OnlyFans. Click the social media, click the OnlyFans. All right? Does that make sense to everyone? Cool. Good stuff, boys.
Yeah, Harry.
Sure, man.
Why did you guys use all my links and not Linktree? Is there a more likely chance to get banned or something? What's
no, it's literally no. They're the same. They're pretty much the same app, mate. It's just personally. All my links would be my preference. Do I really have a preference? Not really. It doesn't make a lot of difference, mate. Use Linktree if you want to use all my links, whatever you're more familiar with.
It's just more girls in this industry use all my links.
Yeah.
What I've noticed. So whenever a guy is on, he lands on the Instagram account, as soon as he sees all my links, they straight away kind of associate that with OnlyFans.
It's used just a little bit more. That's what I'd say.
In the industry, yeah.
In terms of kind of the benefits of that as well, if you're going on there and instantly seeing that account, it's OnlyFans then. Linktree is often used by people that maybe have their own little businesses, or maybe they have they want to have a TikTok link on their Instagram, stuff like that. All my links is often used pretty exclusively for OnlyFans and it's content of that nature. So yeah, that's a good question though. All my links would be the preference. It does make a huge amount of difference, but if you've got the time, do all my links. All right.
Okay. Cheers. Didn't know that. Thanks.
No worries at all. Any other questions? Does that pretty much cover everything? And we'll hop into the action points. Obviously, at the end of every lesson, I know we have a little Q&A from kind of what you've done last week to this lesson in terms of, if you get any help from anything that you've tried and maybe not been successful at, whatever. But in terms of action points, obviously, it's pretty simple to this. Now, I want you guys to essentially, obviously, watch through these TikToks above, spend 20 minutes, it's worth it, and you will have a pinpoint idea of the quality of content you're going to be needing, so you can obviously advise this girl best, all right? That's a really good. Spend a bit of time, familiarise yourself with the content, right? Now, this is another one as well. Find 3 more models on TikTok to use inspiration from. Okay, now all you guys are going to be able to use these really effectively, but find 2 or 3 more. Obviously, forward them to me, even maybe get my opinion on whether they're good or not. Find some more models on TikTok that you can take content ideas from. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be nothing better than you giving your model a huge amount of accounts to actually choose from. It's going to diversify the content a lot more. So find a few of your own. Okay, so that would be kind of the second action point. Now, third action point: use this document we we've given you here, use the above, use the links, turn it into your own little lesson. Obviously, there's going to be a few differences in how you approach things. Turn it into your own little lesson that you can hop on a little call with it for 20 minutes and discuss TikTok, discuss the do's and the don'ts and the type of content, and you can obviously talk through that. That's something that I'd be really keen to do. So take this lesson. If you want to use some of it word for word, that's fine. Obviously, make it your own a little bit. Maybe talk about what's worked for you in the past, whatever. And you use this lesson to your advantage, guys. Do this. Do what I've just done with you guys to the model. That's why we're here. Kind of relay the information I've given you, and obviously relay the the actual fundamentals as well. That's what I'd say is kind of the third and final action point.
Just to add on top of that, by the way, eventually what we'll do is we'll teach you a proper lesson, like one of these, on how to properly onboard one of your models, right? So really automate. This is like in the future, by the way, for all of you guys, once you're really starting to scale this and automate the whole business. And within the onboarding process for your models, there'll be a video that'll explain pretty much everything that we just went over, like what you expect from the models, what they can expect from you, the content, where to find ideas, etc., etc. So the model will watch this long-ass video, but it will answer all of her questions, and then afterwards, you then kind of check in with them every single day on a call, rather than having to explain all of these one by one. But again, that will come in the future. For now, just to make life a little bit easier, you're just going to do it one by one with each model. And then eventually, once you're ready to scale and get a bunch of staff members, you're then going to start to build kind of the onboarding process.
Lovely stuff, boys. Obviously, is there, that kind of covers everything from the TikTok lesson we've got here. Does anyone have any lessons from the account setup element? You're back. Yeah, sweet. Does anyone have any elements from the account setup lesson in terms of any questions you've had from last week? Obviously, do not be afraid to kind of shout out, because in reality, questions that you guys have got will be questions that other guys have got. So anything at all you kind of have done from last week, or you need a bit of extra assistance with from last week, just shoot away now. I know we like to do this at the end of every session.
Yeah, so I have a quick question. So I don't know if you have like some kind of your metrics about outreach. So yeah, I don't have like any standard percentages in order to reply rates, booking rates, in order to have that.
Yeah, typically, so it really depends on what caliber of model you're going for. So obviously, the bigger audience she has, the less replies you're going to get. Typically, what we see is like 100 DMs, roughly about 10 to 15 will actually see it and reply. And then normally about two of them will actually then take further onto a meeting. So 100 DMs, about 10-ish people you should speak to, about 1 to 2 meetings you should be setting.
Cool. And in terms of the platform, like, are working best for you? Like, because right now, like yesterday, I started doing outreach. I actually like book a call for one of the girls for next week. But yeah, like, I'm not sure if Instagram is working well for you, or do you actually use other platforms in terms of outreach?
Yeah, I mean, for us, the biggest thing that's working for us is actually outsourcing it to a guy who really knows a lot of girls. I'm sure Harry's, I haven't watched them actually, to be honest, but I'm sure Harry's probably mentioned about the whole how to find models and how to get them on board. The thing that will really come down to a lot of time is the girl, whether she knows, likes, and trusts you, right? So the easiest way to do that is by finding other guys who already have a lot of girls that know, like, and trust them. If you guys don't have a lot of girls that you already know, like, and trust, you feel me? So that's just the best method that we've found. So maybe think about what other guys do you know, like friends of yours, who are kind of like fuckboys, who know a lot of girls, right? Who sleep with a lot of girls. Reach out to them and say, hey, bro, I've got this business model going on. I'm sure Harry might have mentioned this already, but yeah, explain like, hey, you've got this business model going on, blah, blah, blah. I'm happy to pay you a commission on per model that you actually bring on board. That's one way. If you wanted to do it yourself, like for quote unquote cold outreach, so models that you don't know, they don't know you, etc. Yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't say one superior platform. Instagram would probably be my first go-to if I was to pick out of all of them. There's loads of different websites. I forgot off the top of my head. There's a website where there's girls that look for sugar daddies. Can you remember what it was called?
Seeking Arrangements, that's a good one.
Seeking Arrangements.
A little nugget for you there if you have a little hop on there. In terms of the Instagram side of things, Instagram is really effective. I don't know, maybe you attended the lesson. I'm not entirely sure, but obviously the lesson's on the course. If not, if you want to have a little look over it, you're going to get better results on Instagram if you obviously use if you watch the video of obviously the video of how to reach out is super important, but the actual full video we did on how to find these models specifically on Instagram is really, really useful as well. So you're looking in the right place, and it's not quite as cold. It's not really a cold. You turn a cold lead into maybe a lukewarm lead. All right, and that's something that is really useful. Have a little go over the lesson in terms of where to find these models. Obviously, how to target potentially models who are in their early stages of OnlyFans. That's your ideal target market. Potentially, instead of sending 100 completely cold DMs, maybe send 60 DMs, but to the more targeted, more of the right girl, and you'll obviously get more responses off the back of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And you also only reach out, because I know that you reach out to people that maybe they want to starting out their OnlyFans. Also, the people are actually on their OnlyFans career. But I see a lot of potential maybe ladies that they are not actually OnlyFans, but they are just selling content through social media.
Yeah,
they're just selling content on IG.
Yeah, so the whole industry in terms of Snapchat Premium, all that side of things, which actually obviously it's such an easy transition to make. We actually took on a girl very recently. I'm going to do her introductory post on Instagram actually after this lesson, most likely, called Paige. Now she's got a small OnlyFans, doesn't really do much with it, doesn't really use it all that much, but she actually makes a lot of money off just selling content on Snapchat. So if you find a girl that's doing something similar to that, or maybe she's doing cam girling, or maybe she's doing babe station, anything like that, it's such an easy transition to make because they're already in the industry. They understand, what it takes, and often those girls do. I'd say, in terms of percentages, they actually do quite a bit better because if they're coming from that background, and they're going to know exactly what to do straight off the bat. They're probably going to have a whole load of content stored up. They're also going to probably be able to, just have a little bit more of an inkling into what it actually takes in terms of work rate if they're already doing it. So that it's a really, really great point you mentioned. I think it was mentioned briefly on the lesson as well. Girls that are doing something similar to OnlyFans, but not specifically OnlyFans, it's such a great target because it's a really easy transition to make.
What's crazy as well, guys, is the amount of girls it's mind blowing. The amount of girls that are on Twitter who are happily doing webcams who don't do OnlyFans. It's just nuts. And to me, that just makes no fucking sense. So Twitter is a good one as well to find these niche groups of girls who do webcams, the same as what Harry just said, loads of different other industries similar to OnlyFans, but not quite OnlyFans. And then just check out their social medias. If they don't have a link in their Instagram, that obviously means they're not doing it, right? So then that's a huge opportunity right there for you guys.
Yeah, 100%. Either they're not doing it enough, or they don't know what they're doing. That's kind of the three that it comes down to, and obviously each three of those you are going to market yourself as the solution, as we went over in the call stage. Does that make sense?
Another interesting one, by the way, guys. I don't know if Harry mentioned this in the other call, but once we're kind of talking about model acquisition, have a look at other agencies, right, who are OnlyFans management agencies. Go onto their social media accounts and look at the following. So the girls that are following these accounts. And then just have a look through their accounts, right? Because if a girl is following a management page on Instagram, she's obviously interested in that. And yes, most of the time that will be their client. So most of the time they'll obviously be already managed by this agency. But then you also find a lot of girls who aren't yet. Maybe it's a friend of a girl who's already being managed, etc. Right? So yeah, so that's a good one as well. So basically steal prospects from your competition.
And just adding on to what Huss said there as well, a lot of girls, maybe they follow these pages because, I don't know, maybe they just like the content, they like the whole glamorous side of things, they want to see some lifestyle photos, stuff like that, and that's obviously a market you can tap into really, really well. So, completely, if you've got an agency there as well, that potentially, if you reach out to a girl and the agency she's with isn't doing a very good job, there's always options you can go down with that. I'm not saying, don't go onto Aura's page and start DMing our girls, please. But, if it's someone that you don't know, and if maybe it looks like the page has been pretty inactive for a while, or it's not getting much engagement, whatever, there's nothing stopping you. I've done it. I'll be honest, I've done it. Don't do it to me, please. But I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and all our girls are gonna receive 30 messages from all the guys in the Discord. But take that view. It's a ruthless world. I'm not saying steal off each other, but if you've got an agency out there that's looking inactive, go on a following. The likelihood is maybe they're not doing it anymore, or they're not doing it very well. All right, have a little look at kind of inactive agency accounts as well. It's always a really useful method. Maybe a girl they managed a year ago that wants to get back into it. Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, cool. So I think last question on my end, regarding that first question, is about what do you think, like using your experience, like is the best approach in order to reach out to these girls that maybe they're not have their OnlyFans, but they're just selling content through social media or doing webcams? Because I know that if they go to OnlyFans, they need to pay like some kind of percentages to OnlyFans, and maybe they're maybe doing more money just by doing like through social. So, what is the touch points that you actually touch on your outreach messages?
Sure. So you're kind of saying like, how would you market yourself if they're making more money doing something else that's not OnlyFans? And obviously, OnlyFans taking 20% cut. Got you. So you are going to market. Obviously, we've spoken at length about kind of when you're actually on these initial calls with the models, you're going to want to market freedom. Freedom is a huge one. Freedom is the one thing in life that people don't have. You can have all the money in the world, but if you chain behind a desk all day, you're not free. So you're going to want to market to these girls that say put in loads of hours in on Snapchat, whatever. You're going to want to market freedom. You're going to want to market recurring revenue. You're going to want to market subscriptions because any girl can sit on Snapchat, sell a few pieces of content for €50 or whatever, and okay, they've made €50, great. But what next? What if they want to go on holiday for a week and they don't go on the Snapchat? They're not making any money. But with you guys working in the background, you're marketing freedom, you're marketing the subscriptions, the monthly recurring revenue, the fans, the social, the kind of the social element as well in terms of they're going to get more notice on all these different platforms. That's what you're marketing, all right? So if they're already doing content stuff like that, sell your freedom, sell it as a huge opportunity they're missing out of. Sell it as they can make the transfer from doing something that isn't consistent income to potentially doing really consistent income on a regular basis. Does that make sense?
Yeah, can I just so to also like essentially how we position it is it's another passive income stream because your initial question was if they're already doing webcams and similar business models, all right? That was your question, right?
Yeah.
How do you position the OnlyFans if they're not doing it already? Well, yeah, it's literally just another passive income stream on their side. And at that point, it pretty much is passive because they're already doing the content. So you just leverage the same content. And the reason why it's passive is because obviously that's the whole point of this business model. You manage the whole thing for them. So that's how you position it. It's just another free passive income stream for them.
To the point where they would be making a mistake if they said no. All right, that's what you want to market. They will be lacking at the moment. If they're selling content from Snapchat or Camgirl and stuff, I can guarantee that the amount of work that actually takes in terms of hands-on import is a lot. It's a lot of strain. So by taking that off them and potentially promising them and making them more money, that's going to be your sell. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Thanks a lot, guys.
No worries at all.
Just to leave you guys with, just again, if you guys haven't already, by the way, I need every single guy in here and everyone else rewatching this lesson. If you haven't already, please just message today as you're watching this. Message all your guy friends that you can think of.
Yeah.
If they can think of any models that would be interested in this. They don't have to be doing OnlyFans already. Ideally, yes, but if they're not doing it and they're already kind of posting these kind of content for free on Instagram, if they can connect you guys, you guys can pay a commission to the guy. And in terms of how much, that's up to you. $50, $100, $200. I mean, think about it. Even $500 is worth it.
Massively. I mean, that's something that obviously, with this whole, we're teaching you how to do this most effectively over the internet. I think that often, occasionally you can overlook the more practical in-person elements. We've already discussed kind of how to, maybe market it at a bar if you're chatting to a girl about it, which, the guys at Fox Valley have been very successful at doing, in terms of just going out and just kind of speaking to girls. If you have a guy friend that is a bit of a player, it's such a huge asset. Just it takes a lot of the it simplifies it a lot. I think in this day and age where everything is so heavily digital focused, metrics, all that side of things, you often forget that the most important element of any of this is the human interaction, which is why we say get the girls on the calls. But if you know them, and if a guy friend you've got knows them, it's just going to make it even easier. Right? That makes sense, guys. Cool. Good stuff. Any more questions, or does that pretty much cover everything for you boys for today?
Thanks for jumping on, guys.
Good stuff.
It's good to see that.
Pleasure as always, boys.
Yeah, I did kind of have a question. It was about so basically, one thing that I do want to market is problems and solutions, right? On Instagram, on the presentation, on everything, really. But what's like I know that one of the main problems is mostly like privacy, or they don't want us, their parents to see, or family or anything like that. But what would be like a lot of like other problems that that would be something that would stop them from joining.
Cool. So in terms of kind of problems that you're addressing, preemptively in your pitch, is that what you're saying?
Like objections.
Yeah.
Got you. Cool. So common objection. Okay. So maybe as you mentioned there, don't want my family knowing about it. Don't really, don't really feel like it's right for me in terms of that. That's a big one. There's not a huge amount of objections with this, mate, because essentially it is free money. Objection number two, potentially there's a bit of stigma around the industry, but then what you can kind of reply, write this down. So in terms of stigma around the industry, what you can say is that, so many celebrities and things do OnlyFans now, it's become massively socially accepted. So if they feel there's a stigma, they're probably a couple of years behind in terms of actually how they view OnlyFans. That's a huge one as well. The stigma around it. Other problems they may have in terms of maybe they're not familiar with your service. I don't want to spend my time. I don't want to message strangers. I don't want to have any of that. Obviously, you're taking care of all that. They don't have to message any strangers. There's none of that whatsoever. Any other problems you can kind of think of with this?
Yeah, the main one is always the kind of privacy side of it, right? So I don't know if I want to have my real name and surname out there. I don't know if I want my friends and family to know about this. I mean, literally the real life example we showed you of the TikTok account of there's a secret angel, Francesca. Is that the TikTok, right? So that's one of the models. Her name is not Francesca. If you look, it's quite funny. If you look at her TikToks, I mean, I'm not going to expose it, but she's wearing a necklace with her real name. So you can literally create a whole fake identity of her online and get a whole new audience, which is completely fine. Another one, by the way, you haven't mentioned this one, I've heard this one before, is about, but what if I want to do brand deals in the future and then I can't, I want to get the brand deal with Boohoo or My Pretty Little Thing. There's in terms of that, unfortunately, there isn't really two ways around it. The way we overcome that objection is by just getting them to understand how much fucking money you're going to make with this. What do you actually value more, right? I think those are the main ones. Sometimes they're 50-50. Sometimes the 50-50 is an objection, but obviously in that case, then you can negotiate the percentage.
Yeah, we went over that in the call. We went over in terms of the on the lesson about the initial call in terms of how to negotiate to take all the awkwardness out, which is obviously the tactic we use, which is upfront payment 35% or 50-50, and in comparison to each other, it makes them sound like getting a really great deal straight off the bat. They all love they all like that little bit. In terms of what was just mentioned about kind of the brand dealing side of things as well. End of the day as well, the stigma around OnlyFans is becoming less and less. If a company like Boohoo or a company like Pretty Little Thing or a company like, I think one of you guys is like worldwide, like I don't know, Gucci, whatever, taking an extreme example, if they start discriminating against girls that do OnlyFans, that wouldn't run anymore. It would. There's no way these companies can discriminate against girls that do that because it's a viable industry now. It's essentially, it's a career path. You all know the celebrities that have made millions off this, and those celebrities still have brand deals. There's no difference. So obviously that's just kind of comes from a position of maybe a girl who's got quite a few followers just overthinking things a little bit, but they can't. These brands don't discriminate against OnlyFans anymore because it's such a socially accepted thing. That's a huge element of that. So really, Emilio, in terms of the objections you mentioned there, mate, those are kind of the main ones, and obviously how to overcome them. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, man.
Anything else, boys?
I actually have a question. I actually started today the course, and I saw the first lesson. And I bought my domain name. I thought about a name. I started with the logo. I actually hired someone from Faza to do it, and I'm waiting tomorrow. And now I'm there actually struggling with the website because I don't know really how to do the technical stuff. I watch on YouTube some stuff, and I'm really struggling with the website part. Do you think it's I should put my energy on the website and try to figure out how it works, or should I go away and maybe think later and try to put the social media by the followers and all the stuff that you said in the course?
Sure. I think, to be fair, I obviously, if you're struggling with the website a little bit, in terms of the best way to approach that, 100%, get on with the social media side of things, get all that set up if that's kind of what you're better at. Realistically, we can put you in touch with a website developer who, for, I don't know, how much does he charge?
Anywhere around $50, he'll build a whole website for you, mate.
So you can just get that done for you.
If you just remind me on Discord, by the way, if you just drop me a message on the group chat about that, just remind me saying like, hey Marcus, you mentioned about a connection you have for the web design on Go High Level. I'll send you his WhatsApp number.
Maybe potentially
I'll do that.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea, actually. We'll probably add a section to the Discord in terms of his contact details. So, if you are struggling with the website, or maybe you want your website a little revamp, make it a bit more professional, you can just contact him. He's a really, really approachable guy, very affordable, absolutely spot on.
Thank you very much. Amazing.
No worries at all, boys. Right, well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Myself and Mark are going to go and grab some food. Yeah, boys, obviously, if you need anything, bang me a message on Discord. If you need anything kind of specifically or urgently, WhatsApp. Absolutely, pleasure speaking to you guys as always. All right?
Sweet, lads. Take care.
Thank you.
There we go.
Bye bye.
Have a good one.
See you soon. See you, man.